allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. We have a few things to take care of on the agenda, and then we're going to have a bit of a presentation by PF Mann. So on the agenda, if we could add item 4 and then renumber everything below that, and that's going to be PF Mann presentation.
Where's it going?
Item 4, right under approval of the minutes. Is there anything else for the agenda from board members?
Yeah, I just got a question. Let me number these. Bill said last month, or last meeting, that CLA was going to be here to give us an update on the examination, and I don't see them on the agenda.
They're here.
Are they here?
Yeah.
We're
Going to do it under Continuum Labs.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Bill.
Anything else for the agenda? If not, we'll open for a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Any public comment? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, now we'll move into the minutes. I believe you all received these ahead of time. Are there any changes to the minutes? Any discussion or questions? If not, we'll open for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I don't think I can vote on it. I wasn't here.
I'm sorry?
I don't think I can vote because I was absent.
Can't hear you.
I don't think I can. Is it on? I won't vote because I was absent last time. I don't know if they
I don't think it matters. There's no conflict.
Okay, any further comments? Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, and we'll have Bill go ahead and introduce for us who we have with us with PF Mann.
At last week's budget, one of our budget presentations before the Board of County Commissioners, Kristen and Sarah had prepared a short video as part of the presentation, and it is appropriate because we had used some of the circumstances with PF Mann as part of the presentation, and we'd like to show you that. And right after that, we'll have Veronica Hurst from PF Mann come and give you a little bit of an update on what they're doing there. Veronica, we're gonna let you start, and we'll show this at the end of your presentation if it loads, so we get the lights back up for you.
It's a really nice video.
If anyone doesn't know me, I'm Veronica Hurst, COO of PF-MAN, and I brought Nick with me today, one of our engineering team, in case I get asked a technical question that floors me. We actually only decided to come yesterday afternoon. We had a chat with Bill, and so this isn't the slickest presentation in the world. I've printed off some photos of kind of what we've been doing for the last couple of months, and I'll leave one in the folder here, and then as I'm talking through things, I'll hand out some of these to you guys to have a look. So what have we been up to? Well, we've had, as you know, we've been doing our research. Sorry, I don't know if I need this, do I?
Pick it up on our recorder.
Okay, got it. We've been doing research and development of our genset product over in the UK. That's now been wound up, so all the future research and development will be done over here in Hardy County in our PF-MAN facilities. The reason why we can do that now is because we've just started the construction of our engine testing dyno rooms, and I've got some pictures of that's going on. So also, of course, we need to be developing our sales pipeline. So we had the opportunity in May to actually demonstrate one of our genset units in Dubai at the Humanitarian Centre. It wasn't a general show, it was absolutely for us. We were invited specifically by the Red Cross, Red Crescent, some of those agencies. Small lightweight generators are very important for crisis situations, Syrian refugee camps, etc. So there's a picture of us doing that. Unfortunately, the demo unit that we did actually have at the show, which I would have liked to have been able to fire up and show you today, Doha logistics aren't all that we would like them to be. So the wheels got slightly damaged, and so we need to check that out before we actually do a show and tell. What I will announce at the end of my little presentation here is that we are actually going to have an open day in about 3 weeks' time. The whole of the community is invited to that, and we will hopefully be able to show you a working genset. So in the meantime, what else have we been doing? We've been investing in our infrastructure. You all know that we have a 3-axis and a 5-axis CNC machine from Roders. The 5-axis machine is the only one of its kind in the USA. There's only 8 in the whole world. The other 7 are actually making the camera lenses for the iPhones over in Asia. This is extremely high precision, very fast CNC equipment. We needed that because we have some new materials that we're bringing into play which will fix some of the problems of the rotary engine. We'll talk about that in a minute. In addition to that, we also, as we do our research and development, we also need to do some prototyping work. So we've invested in some manual milling machinery, and actually that's one of the reasons for our open day. We'd like to be able to provide a good service to our community. So if you have a tractor and the knuckle breaks, or you have a gear that needs looking at, we have all the equipment now that can help our community. So we want to be a walk-in shop for you guys. We want to be part of the community. We want you to feel that we're part of the community. We've also got invested now in a Sodic wire EDM machine. That's extremely good for prototyping. It's slow, but the precision is very, very high. And also an amazing 9-axis index lathe, which we'll be showing off. That's for much larger pieces. The one that we've bought has been working with brass. It's not brand new, but it's certainly in very good condition. And then in addition to that, last week we finished probably 2/3 of the way through our engine test cells. We're building 3. 2 are the same size, 1 is slightly larger because we'll be testing engines with propellants eventually. We're just needing now for the wiring to go in, some ducting to go in, and then we'll move our testing equipment in, which is why now we can do the research and development over in the USA. So, what have we been doing? With the product development, we've been looking essentially at the rotary engine. Why didn't the rotary engine take off? It seems like very good technology, it's a simple engine, you can get very high power out of a small footprint. So some of the issues were about the tip seals on the rotor. We've managed to address that now with some ceramic materials. It's proprietary to us, it's a recipe, as it were, for us. Again, modern materials are a big important piece of what we're doing. So just by addressing the issues with the tip seals, we managed to bring something that's commercially viable to the marketplace. What's nice about that is that the company that we've worked with to develop that also want to develop other products for companies like BAE and also for NASA. And so we're having a kind of a complementary relationship develop now. So in a couple of weeks' time, we're actually going to be starting to machine on the Rodas machine some ceramic pieces. We believe they're for NASA. It's a very complex ceramic material. It's porous. We have to machine it a particular way. I think we're going to make it fluorescent, or they're going to make it fluorescent. So that's what we can offer. We can offer your manual milling type, let's fix your tractor, right up to very high-end, very complex projects. So that's one of our differentials. I'm going to talk about our new materials in a minute on this genset. This is a rotary engine. A rotary engine has a rotor housing, a shaft, 2 end plates. That's an end plate. Okay. We're actually developing new materials to keep this engine cooler. That was one of the problems with the rotary engine. It ran too hot. This is a normal aluminium end plate. What you can see here on one of our research and development products is that our end plates here are made out of our new material. This particular engine genset I ran on a dyno room for 90 minutes at 6,000 RPM. The exhaust was glowing, it was so hot. Switched off the dyno room, literally within 45 seconds, probably less, I can put my hand on this material. We have truly invented something amazing here. We're being cautious of what we're saying at the moment, but the development and the R&D that we can do in the USA will actually start to prove out what we've invented here. But it looks like we've invented something that can actually really, really diffuse heat very, very well. So we're incredibly excited by that. What more can I tell you? Let me see. So the material's hard. That's one of our challenges. Let's talk about some of the challenges that we're trying to address here. So it has a high silicon content, and that means that it's quite hard to machine. What we're going to do is actually have these pieces high pressure die cast, so they're near net perfect, and then we'll machine them. But we are actually working on a tooling strategy. We're probably going to have to use diamond tips tools. But again, that's one of the things we're working on. Another one of our challenges is that now we're back in the USA, we want to start to find our local supply chain. So Nick and the engineering team have a big task ahead of them. They need to get this product from where it is now to where we can actually start to ship product to customers. Our goal is the 1st of October this year. So they have to actually finish the product development and actually get what we call the bill of materials, the BOM, frozen, and then we start looking at our supply chain. Now, of course, we're looking at our local supply chain already at the moment. So our tip manufacturer that we were talking about has already got 600 engines worth of tip seals available for us in Tampa. But there's things like wiring and the electrical components. And we are extremely fortunate to have Pacer Marine just down the road from us. And they have, huge competencies. We spent a couple of hours with them, visit with them last week, and we're certainly going to have some more conversations with them this week about, you know, if they can help us with wiring harnesses. They're introducing us to their supply chain for electronic components. So it's really, really great. You'll hear me, when you see me now and again, talk about using a local supply chain. That's absolutely what we intend to do here. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the genset then. What do we try to do here? What do we try to achieve? And please come up and have a look if you want. This isn't an elegant box. It's a demo unit. What we'll be doing is we'll be working with our customers for them to design what they would like, what the panel's going to look like, what the footprint's going to be like, what size of fuel tank do they want on the top here. But we have some very exciting pieces. Essentially, this genset is 3 core pieces. We have a motor, we have our engine on one shaft, very elegant engineering. The motor, it acts as a starter, gets everything up and running, gets the engine spinning, and once it's spinning, then it becomes the generator. So the engine is spinning at 6,000 RPM on this shaft, turning this motor, which then generates electricity. In the bottom of this box, you'll see an inverter. So the electricity is created, DC output. This inverter, which has proprietary technology for us, created by a supplier in Nevada, will give us AC output, 10 kVA AC clean electricity output. And that's the bones of it, really. It's a simple product, but it's very exciting. It's a small, lightweight footprint, clean power, and we've got a lot of sales interest. So we have, out of our Middle East tour, we have 2 large companies coming to actually physically see us, one at the end of this month, one in August, just to see our manufacturing capabilities, and we expect the orders to fly. I think, is that enough, Bill?
I think so. Does anyone have any questions of Veronica at this point?
I just want one announcement then. So everybody in the community, you're all invited to an open day Friday, the 8th of August, between 11 and 4 o'clock. We're going to have hamburgers and soft drinks, and you're very welcome to come and see our machining factory, and hopefully, like I say, we'll probably have a running genset demoed a couple of times during that period of time. Thank you for your time.
Sarah, you can show the video now.
It really is hard.
Not right now. Yeah.
As you can see, we're still having some technical difficulties. We will try to show it later on during the meeting when we possibly can.
Veronica, we just would like to say thank you very much for bringing this in. You know, while we understand that we didn't actually fund your product and it was more of us partnering with you for a building, we do appreciate you bringing it in and giving us the opportunity to take a look at it and see what you have going on and taking the time out to be here. And, you know, definitely want to invite all of the public and the board to come out to the open house and see. If you haven't seen some of their machines and the equipment that they have, it is fantastic. It's an amazing project in Hardy County. So, again, thank you for being here this morning.
Could you repeat the time and date? I got part of it.
August the 8th from 11 to 4.
Thank you.
Do any of the board members have any other questions for Veronica? All right. We will go ahead and move into our Energy Florida USDA grant.
This time I'm going to introduce Mike Aller. Mike, of course, was here at the last meeting. He is with Energy Florida. An opportunity has come up relative to USDA grant opportunities in citrus greening. We have, Mike, if you'd like to sit at this table,
Sure,
maybe
yeah,
more
I'll do
comfortable
that.
for you.
That's no problem at all. I realize I don't have a mic there, so that's fine. Sit here. And I have a presentation, which I think Sarah is working on bringing up here, so we'll get going. While Sarah's bringing that up, I'll just say, first of all, thank you very much to the board for having us back. Enjoyed having the opportunity to present about Energy Florida last month, and look forward to giving you some information about this USDA funding opportunity which has come up.
Hearing you, sir.
Okay, I believe this is on. Yeah. I'll just have to get very close to it. Okay. No problem. Yes, it should be, it's called Energy Florida, Hardy County. You should see it right there. Update, yeah, it's the second one. Not that one, the other one. Yes, that should be it. Since we had last talked with you middle of last month, actually the same week that we talked with you last month, there was a funding opportunity which was announced by the U.S. Department of Agriculture called the Specialty Crop Research Initiative, which allowed for about $24 million in funding availability for projects related to support of research and extension in citrus greening and capacity building programs in rural communities impacted by the decline of the citrus industry. And certainly we thought this was a wonderful opportunity for Hardy County, for the region to be able to take advantage of this funding, because these types of special funding opportunities are, quite frankly, rare. And especially at this level of $24 million specifically devoted to this project. And this particular opportunity was actually announced at the Florida Citrus Annual Conference last month, and then rolled out and then they basically said, we want to have a number of different ideas, concepts put forward here within a month's time. So they essentially, we'll get into the time frame in a moment, but they're offering opportunities for rural, regional partnerships for innovation, which allow regional groups to build do capacity building programs in support of technology commercialization, diversification of economic opportunities in rural communities, up to $2 million over a 3-year period. And some of these programs require a match commitment. But we essentially had to pull the trigger on this by last week. So there was an initial concept paper which was due at the end of last week. We worked with Bill and the staff here to pull something together on behalf of Hardee County and the region about doing a regional cluster development strategy for Hardee County and the region, supporting value-added agriculture commodities and bio-based products. And we wanted to come in and talk to you a little bit about that concept, what we had put forward to the USDA, and what some of the next steps would be for that project. So in terms of what the concept that we had put together, we put together an idea in coordination with Bill and his team and some other stakeholders in the region called the Hardee Agricultural Regional Task Force, which essentially is all about building business growth, business-to-business connections, and job creation, specifically focused around value-added agricultural production. And the entire thought was to leverage some of the resources and investments that the board and the community have already made, most especially the incubator focused on value-added agricultural and nutraceutical products that you have invested in, are building, and is being finished as we speak. And so there's a lot of great opportunities to sort of build a network of support services, a network of support providers around that capacity, that capability, and then identify and bring in companies who can just fill that facility and make use of the resources that are being put together. So in that sense, there are a lot of different partners that would be involved in this effort. This is, as USDA has requested, they wanted a regional effort with a lot of different partners engaged, including educational partners, the university system and the extension service, educational institutions, South Florida State College, several of the other universities, University of South Florida, Florida Polytechnic, the workforce boards, and a number of the other entrepreneurial support resources that are here in the region. So USF, Small Business Development Center, GrowFL, statewide entrepreneurial program, and some others would be a part of this regional collaborative effort that we would put together on behalf of, or in order to make this effort a reality. In terms of specific project activities that we had envisioned and put forward in this initiative, first would be to asset map basically the capabilities that we have here in the region already in terms of the specific companies that are here, the specific products that may be out there in the marketplace that we think would be a good fit for Hardee County, the types of growing that happen here in this region and that we might be able to attract to the region, specifically within this market sector, and basically build a market development strategy around the value-added agricultural sector, specifically focused on Hardee and the Heartlands region. And then there are a number of different things that build into that, developing a collaborative industry group that would allow for discussion among the industry, sharing of best practices, introduction of different businesses within the region, and diversification up and down the value chain, so that you're doing a number of different processes instead of just canning something. You're also growing it locally and then providing logistics and support services regionally as well. So there are a lot of different elements that go into a strategy like this, but we think that this is a wonderful opportunity to leverage some federal money that's out there specifically for this purpose, and be able to build on some projects and some elements that Hardee County is already well engaged in. In terms of this is a sort of a graphical overview of some of the ideas and elements that are a part of this proposed project, but I would keep your eye especially on the left-hand side of this diagram, which is the inputs, which are putting in the existing value-added agricultural enterprises that we have, this resources support network, some of the technologies that are available out of the university system, the extension network, and some of the expertise that we have, that some of the other support network providers have in the region, to be able to pull this together in terms of defining key segments that are available within this industry for the community to focus on and make a focus of this effort, build the networks around those, and then develop the resources and the markets in order to be able to create jobs and really build an economic engine in the value-added agriculture sector here in Hardee County. So the ultimate focus and goal of this at the very end, all the way on the right-hand side of this diagram, is basically a well-represented cluster of value-added agricultural enterprises that support full-time, higher-wage jobs within the community, improving the standard of living in multiple dimensions. That's the ultimate goal of this or any other economic development effort, and we thought that this would be a great way to build a real engine and a community effort around it. In terms of outcomes, again, as I said, full-time, higher-wage jobs within value-added agricultural sector, leveraging our central location and easy access to many markets within Florida and beyond Florida, and basically, long-term goals of improving the economic opportunity, activity, standard of living here in the region. In terms of a timeline for this and for the overall effort, as I mentioned before, this had to be a pretty quick turnaround for the initial element. This was announced on the 12th of June, and last Friday there was a mandatory stakeholder relevance statement which had to be provided to USDA in order to be eligible for future consideration. So we worked with Bill and some others. That stakeholder relevance statement has been submitted. And we are waiting now for USDA to review those, score those, and get back to us on whether Hardee is eligible for to submit a full proposal. We expect that should happen by the middle of next month at the latest. And then the final proposal would be due at the end of September. And then we imagine it would be between 4 to 6 months of review process for this application, and then that USDA would make their determinations in mid-spring of next year, and then 60 to 90 days after that, a program would actually, money would start flowing, and the program would actually start rolling off the ground with the USDA support. And then it would be implemented over a 2 to 3 year time period, depending on how it was set up. In terms of next steps for the community, we have, first of all, determining the key partnerships that we need, and really, I think we have a good shot of being invited to invite a full proposal. So to some degree, some of this I think we can start on now, but we'll have to wait for to formally kick off until we get confirmation from USDA. But there is an element to be able to engage some of the regional businesses and service providers already, prepare, plan, and coordinate the full application. And to some degree, there are some elements of this project we may be able to do, outside of the USDA effort as well, if the board is interested. And then consider alternative avenues of funding and support. There may be a match requirement. There may be some ways to buy down that match requirement, and we can talk about those. But there are a lot of exciting elements about this, and we wanted to make sure that the board was aware, the community was aware, and we're all working together to take advantage of the opportunity. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
So, Mike, at the end of the day, I'm assuming through this process and study, you're going to get a lot of valuable information. At the end of the day, is the target to have some sort of marketing plan, like with our incubator, and be able to bring in other companies? I mean, is there like a tangible product at the end or is this more or less a study and review of what we can do and attempt to put together?
No, I think it's very much a tangible process in terms of actually, in terms of what's envisioned with the project itself. If I can go back to this little overview, it's very much about engaging companies within a working group, actually working with those companies to help them, understand what their needs are, what the gaps in the regional support system are, working to fill those gaps or find ways to fill those gaps with the board, with the Board of County Commissioners, with the Workforce Board, with the local educational institutions and the Extension Service, and actually, you know, bringing a number of these, you know, resources to bear in order to either identify and grow the companies we have, or identify and bring in key prospects to be able to really make this a strong engine for the community. It's not a study, it's an implementation.